Hey guys, it's Voultar here, and I just wanted to start off by saying I hope everyone here in the States had a fantastic 4th of July holiday weekend. I know I certainly did, and as a matter of fact, I even did a little flea marketing, as I typically do, over the 4th, and I picked up this SCPH 7501, which happens to be my favorite revision, PlayStation 1. And the sticker price is accurate. I paid $2 for this thing. Jesus Christ to Latter-day Saints, that's a deal you just can't pass up on. But at any rate, I went ahead and checked this thing out, and it's fully operational. You know, other than some yellowing, obviously, we're in pretty good shape here. So I have a bunch of mods that I really want to do to this that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And I don't want to talk about them because I don't want to ruin the surprise. Having said that, sit back, strap on, and let's do it to this PS1. Okay, let's take the shield off, nice and easy, and oh, look at this. Black tape. This could be a mod chip. Let's zoom in. Well, this was certainly a surprise. This is looks to be a 5-wire installation here. No, that's not enameled wire, that's just some 30-odd Kynar. Might not even be Kynar, but nonetheless here, under this black tape, if we kind of pull this back, we can see that's a 12C508A. Interesting. This was probably done back in 1999, maybe very late 1998. This isn't a multi-mode 3 or certainly a Mayumi, and this chip would not provide anti-mod. Let me look at it again here. Yeah. There would be no anti-mod protection, so it's always interesting when you find a PS1 that's been shipped even today. It's kind of like it's like a fun surprise at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box. Nonetheless, let's take a look at some of the soldering here. You know, just by looking at this, you can tell that this was either some teenager in their bedroom or maybe even a college kid in a dorm room who just wanted to play some games. Obviously, the solder is very cold here and not very well wetted, but let's continue with the disassembly here and let's investigate this a little further. Shield's gone, let's remove the chip. Now we've been going pretty fast here, removing the shield and lifting this existing mod chip, but we're going to start slowing things down because we're actually going to be getting into the mod work. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to replace that antiquated mod with something a little modern. And if you've seen my PS1 modding video, pretty much all of those same techniques are going to apply right here. So sit back, strap on, and enjoy the show. And with that final joint soldered, we are totally finished with the mod chip installation. That's just one small part of what we're doing to this PS1 today, so we're going to talk about something else, but we need to move to a different area of the board, so let's do it. Now for this next modification, we won't be doing so many jump cuts and speed ups because I really need to explain what we'll be doing here, because this has never been explained to you or shown to you properly before. What we're going to do is we are going to remove composite video and we are going to drive a proper composite sync signal out of the composite video output on the AV multi-out. Now we're going to be doing this in the most uninvasive way that I know how, and this method is applicable to just about all revisions, with the exception of a few, but nonetheless, the first thing that we need to do is we need to remove this capacitor right here, which on the 7500 series is C551. This is the AC coupling capacitor for composite video. So I'm just going to get my tools out and we're going to remove this baby safely, sensually, and gently. Let's do it. Okay, so we've zoomed up here on C551, and in the past we've talked about, techniques and easy methods of removing surface mount tech. Well, what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to take my soldering iron, I'm just going to heat one section of this, I'm just going to lift it up as I'm heating, and then we'll just go to the other side and do the same thing on the other side, rather than having to get out the hot air station and heat everything up and get everything ready, and that's pretty good right there, I think. Well, we can do that a little more. Oops. Right in there. There we go. And while we're here, we'll just go ahead and heat this other section up like so, and that's it. Pad is beautifully preserved, and so is the capacitor. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing. Now, we've established how we'll be outputting composite sync here to the AV connector, but what we haven't determined is where exactly will we be pulling composite sync from. Well, it turns out we have a couple of options. The first option is the actual video DAC and video encoder chip, which is what I'm pointing at right here. Now, this is a custom spun up Sony ASIC that involves both the digital to analog conversion and the analog video format encoding. We can pull it here, or we can pull it from the Sony GPU itself, which is actually quite convenient because it's pin 156, which is composite sync, which is right on the edge. Now, if you look at the schematics in the service manual, you'll see that the composite sync signal outputs at a nominal 3.2 volts, but as anything, I always encourage you guys to check this yourself, put it on a scope, and just do some really simple and fast analysis to determine exactly what these signals look like as they're coming out. Now, I've done that, and what you're seeing on the screen right now is an attenuated version of this 3-volt composite sync signal. Now, the way we can achieve this is just by simply putting in a resistor value of anything between 330 ohms to 560, and we'll repurpose that 220 microfarad capacitor to provide isolation, in addition to removing anything that's unwanted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a surface mount resistor and I'm going to attach it to pin 156. And I know some of you guys are saying that's crazy, that's way too small. It's not too small. That's what she said. Okay guys, I hope this is a tight enough of a shot, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean the tip of my soldering iron. I'm going to jam just a little no clean on pin 156. And we're going to do a little tinning here, just so we can get absolute fantastic adhesion. Just like that. Now I have a 560 ohm resistor that I'm going to use, and that's mainly just because it's what I have on hand. So let me get that prepared here. Apply some more, no clean, and here I come, and I'm going to advance my tweezers in. Note these are the same tweezers that Nick Mueller uses on a nightly basis. Okay, now you should be able to see this, and we're going to horizontally advance this in, wet the joint. We're finished. So let's just grab the other end of this resistor with a drop of no clean. Let's just go ahead and tin this up because we have to make a connection with our conductor. Perfect. Now I'm going to be using a 28 AUG stranded conductor, mainly because we're driving an analog video signal. Well, it's technically not a video signal, but it is a composite sync signal, and I just want to beef up that conductor just a bit. And so I'm going to come in here with the conductor. And it's very difficult to do this because I can't see very well at all. And we'll give it some wiggles here. Very strong. Okay, so with our resistor and conductor installed, we need to trim and cut our conductor and attach it to our capacitor here, because we'll be sort of retrofitting our capacitor back into its pad so that composite sync can drive out perfectly and beautifully to the multi-out. Let's do it. I want to drop a little no clean on that joint. I'm going to just take my hands and I'm going to grab the capacitor. And I can see pretty well where this needs to go, so I'm just going to heat this in. And I'm just going to advance the cap, advance the cap, advance the cap like that. Orient this out of the way like so. Perfect. And just like that, we have finished the complete and proper composite sync modification. We're driving it out of the GPU directly, we're current limiting the output, and we are isolating and doing some good filtering with the Composite Video's 220 microfarad capacitor, which then craps it on out to the AV multi-out. So having said that, we're getting close, but there's just a few more things that we need to do here. Well, I don't suppose I can keep this from you guys any longer, but here's something that's pretty damn cool and very rare to find these days. This is a purple clear PS1 case, and I've been after this particular color for years. I collect these. They're really seldomly hard to find, but when I find them, I've got to grab them, at least the ones that I don't have. So I'm going to off-camera remove the power supply and the main board, and we're going to do a transplant where we're going to put everything into this new nifty case. And you know what? It looks like I need to rob the logo from the other case to put it on here, but nonetheless, let's get to installing this. Okay, so I've removed the power supply from the old case, and I've taken the green LED out, and this is a common anode RGB LED. I went ahead and fitted this in. I'm just going to rotate this around. Whoops, lost focus for a second. I'm going to rotate this around, and I'm just going to solder this in. And the way that it's currently configured, this should be outputting blue, and the resistor that's on board the power supply is plenty to drop the current, so we don't have to do anything there. Great. Let's go ahead and clip these leads. Great. And as a matter of fact, you may have noticed, we left one conductor available, and we didn't clip it. And we're also using an RGB LED, for God's sakes. Why? Well, we're going to try to do something kind of neat here. That's pretty unique, so just stay with me. Now, I'm going to connect the other leg of that LED to this pad here that I'm pre-tinning. This pad and this connector is the power supply for the laser assembly. And this particular pad right here is the power rail that supplies voltage to the laser sled. So basically what that translates to is whenever the laser sled moves position, it's going to energize. Therefore, that LED is going to mix in colors because we have two different sources that are powering that LED. Okay, so I'm going to fit my heat shrink over my conductor before I do anything. That's the most important thing to do. Great, now I'm just going to lift this conductor up. We're going to take our wire strippers, and I'm just going to cut some material off. Then I'm just going to come in here with some solder. We're just going to tin this wire up, like so. I want to come in here, I want to start tinning up this LED leg. And I'm going to come and probably cut it. Let's see, I'm going to do a little manual measuring here and eyeball this thing. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to come right in here. I'd say in this area. I'm going to cut. Now I want to just introduce a touch of no clean flux. And my hand may get in the way with this, in the way of this shot. I'm sorry if it does. Well, maybe I can do this, but I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to advance that conductor back. Perfect. Good joint. I'm just going to bring that heat shrink right into there. I want to set my hot air rework station to 100 degrees Celsius. I want to just quickly blast this with some warm air so that the heat shrink settles. And that's it. Well, I've got to tell you, it doesn't get any sexier than this. And I had a great time building this system. You know, doing the traditional PS1 modifications, that's fun and, you know, that's okay to do, but I really like doing the stuff that you really don't see very much. Obviously, the C-Sync mod, I don't think anyone's ever seen that on a YouTube video, at least in a proper form before. And the LED, how about that? That's got to be some pretty cool stuff to see, right? I mean, I think it's cool. But at any rate, you know, we're going to have some footage here, obviously, of the system up and running. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully this will inspire you to take what was, you know, considered a piece of crap and turn it into something really nice. Take care of yourselves. We'll catch you later.